Good morning. One half of the joking questions asked in every onboarding meeting of new trademark examiners at my job is, how long will it take my parents to understand that I am not a patent attorney? The absolute serious answer someone leading the training will give is, oh, sweet summer child. That's never going to happen. As a trademark examiner, I regularly have applicants, that is, people who have applied for a trademark, call and ask me how their patent is doing. To which I say, I don't know, did you apply for a patent? And wait for the long, confused silence that follows in the wake of that bomb. But I have this enduring belief that if you spend at least $275 on something, you should have some idea of what you are actually getting. Call me crazy. As an aside, they don't always get through that process of elimination on their own. I generally have to walk them through it. The most recent report on intellectual property in the US economy, which was released by the Department of Commerce, found that IP-intensive industries support at least 45 million US jobs and contribute more than $6 trillion to, or 38.2% of the US gross domestic product. Essentially, intellectual property is one of America's largest and most significant industries, if not its most. Furthermore, everyone deals with intellectual property every single day of their lives. And yet the average American has no idea what is covered by the term intellectual property. Most people have asked will manage to mumble something at you about patents, possibly something about copyrights. If you ask anyone to explain what either of those is, well, bless you. The insane thing is this: patents, trademarks, and copyrights, the three main branches of international intellectual property, are all extremely different and all easy to understand on a topical level. That is, there's good reason for most people to understand what they are and no reason why most people wouldn't be able to. So here we go. A patent is what you get when you invent a machine or a drug or develop a cure or a system. Broad examples of this are the creation of a new type of engine or a vaccine. A specific example of this is if you can't get the generic of the drug you're taking, that's because the formula is still patented. Once the patent expires, generics become available to you. A trademark is a brand or a source identifier. Some examples of this that people might be seeing right at this very moment are Zoom, Gmail, Dell, or Apple. Trademarks are usually a word or a picture, say the Nike swish. However, there are other types. A famous sound mark is the NBC chimes. A famous color mark is the UPS brown. And a famous smell mark is that scent that wafts out of the Play-Doh container that you can't really describe, but you know it when you smell it. Play-Doh. If you are someone who has always trusted one brand of toothpaste or soap or deodorant, the way you know you can trust that brand is because they have a trademark to indicate that they are the sole source of that particular product. Finally, a copyright is an artistic work which is in a set form. For instance, a poem that has been written out, a music piece that has been recorded, or an oil painting. So, if you're wondering why you have to wait in line at your library for an ebook, or why the background music in your favorite mid-2000s television show is suddenly all weird and different on Netflix, the answer is copyright and copyright licensing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not arguing that there aren't complicated and confusing elements of intellectual property. I wouldn't have a job if that were the case. Indeed, if you are a layperson and you are trying to handle a federal trademark or copyright application and can afford it, do yourself a favor, friend, hire an attorney. You have to for a patent. Just because the ability to get either is open to persons without representation does not make getting and keeping the protection you're actually seeking easy. But pursuing or acquiring a patent, trademark, or copyright is very, very different from having a basic understanding of what they are, how they're different, and why they're important to our economy. That part's just not that complex. Patents are all of the hard tech we invent, the R&D of our leading biosciences company, the innovation of our businesses and economic think tanks. Trademarks are the promise of quality and a trusted and developing brand. So a Coke will taste like a Coke, a Jeep will drive like a Jeep, and a Hilton will look and feel like a Hilton. Copyrights are what keep Hollywood in screenplays, Netflix with streaming materials, and mass market paperbacks or ebooks rolling off the shelves. There. Now you can navigate the basic underpinnings of one of our country's foremost economic drivers, or impress people at parties, or both. Both is good.